Royal Bombshell, the truth about Leonor and Christian's hidden romance crown heartbreak. Everyone saw them as just friends. Two young royals, bound by duty, not desire. But what if that was never the truth? What if behind palace walls, a secret love story was unfolding, one the world was never meant to see? It began quietly. Spain's Princess Leonor, the poised heir to the throne, and Denmark's Prince Christian, the golden boy of the Danish monarchy. Both born into centuries of royal tradition. Both raised to serve, not to love. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. The world saw them side by side at royal gatherings, formal smiles, polite nods, nothing more. Yet behind those carefully choreographed appearances, a silent connection was growing. They understood each other in a way few could. Both trapped by royal duty, both yearning for something real. It started years ago. A shared laugh during an official summer gala in Oslo. A brief conversation about the pressures of the crown. To the cameras, it looked like nothing. But to those who paid attention, their eyes told another story. In the years that followed, they met at state dinners, youth summits, and royal family events. Each encounter short but electric. The distance between Spain and Denmark suddenly seemed smaller, as though destiny was weaving them closer together. Then came 2023. Leonor began her military training, tough, disciplined, demanding. Christian, meanwhile, was stepping further into his royal role, representing Denmark with maturity that surprised many. They were growing up, and somewhere amid that transformation, something more intimate began. Reports surfaced of late-night calls. Discreet visits under diplomatic cover. Friends claimed Leonor's demeanor had changed. She smiled more, seemed lighter, freer. Christian too was different, more focused, yet more vulnerable in interviews, as though carrying a secret he couldn't share. But the romance wasn't without risk. Both royal families were aware of the attention it could bring. Spain, cautious of political image, wanted Leonor's focus on her future reign. Denmark, protective of Christian's youth, feared scandal. Any rumor of love, especially across two powerful monarchies, could ignite chaos. Still, young love is difficult to contain. Those closest to them recall letters, handwritten, sealed with royal insignia, exchanged quietly through trusted aides. One source revealed that Leonor once sent Christian a note during a diplomatic visit from Queen Margrethe to Madrid. Inside, a single line, "Even in silence, I think of you." The letter was never meant to be seen. But it was. Someone inside the palace leaked its existence, though not its words, to a Spanish journalist. And that's when whispers began. The Spanish media called it the Iberian affair. Danish outlets dismissed it as fantasy. But insiders knew, it wasn't fantasy. It was protection. Because the truth was complicated. Christian's mother, Crown Princess Mary, had always admired Leonor's grace. She saw in her the strength of a future queen. Yet she also knew the royal world's harsh reality. She warned her son, love can wait. Duty cannot. And still, Christian's heart didn't listen. When Leonor turned 18 and delivered her oath of allegiance to the Spanish Constitution, Christian watched the ceremony from Denmark. But palace insiders claim that later that evening, he sent her a message, a simple one that said, "You made history today, and I'm proud to know your heart." Those words, they say, were the start of something neither could undo. From that moment, the two young royals began to communicate more often. Through private royal channels, encrypted messages, mutual friends, their bond deepened, crossing borders and time zones. But palace pressure intensified. King Felipe, ever the protector of the monarchy, began to notice the growing media attention. A relationship with another royal could complicate Spain's image, especially with Leonor just stepping into public duty. Meanwhile, Queen Letizia, always measured, always cautious, worried that Leonor's emotions might eclipse her focus. It wasn't disapproval of Christian himself. It was fear of the chaos love could bring. In Denmark, the situation mirrored the same concerns. Queen Margrethe adored Leonor but hesitated at the thought of merging two dynasties so early. The Danish press was relentless, framing Christian as Europe's most eligible bachelor. Any mention of Leonor risked tabloid frenzy. Yet somehow, through all of it, they endured. When Leonor attended the Danish royal gala quietly in 2024, the cameras caught what words couldn't. The way Christian looked at her, not as a guest, but as someone he had been waiting for. That one glance spread across Europe in seconds. Analysts called it the look that confirmed everything. After that night, rumors intensified. Spanish media reported that Leonor had been invited privately to Amalienburg Palace for a family dinner. Nothing official, no photos released. But insiders insist that during that dinner, Leonor met Christian's siblings in a small, intimate setting. From that night onward, their bond grew deeper. Hidden but undeniable. But love under a crown is never simple. Royal schedules, security, and political optics created constant distance. They would meet when state functions allowed, brief, precious moments stolen from a life of duty. And every separation left its mark. There are reports that Leonor once told a close friend, "I wish I could live just 1 week as a normal girl. No crown, no cameras, just us." Her words echoed through the Spanish palace halls, quietly shared among her inner circle, a rare glimpse into the heart of a young woman torn between destiny and desire. As 2025 approached, tensions grew. Spain's Royal Communications Office began subtly deflecting questions about Leonor's friendship with Christian. Denmark's palace remained silent, adhering to their policy of privacy. But silence, in the royal world, often speaks loudest. Then came the turning point, an unplanned meeting in London. Both royals attended an international youth summit, hosted by the British royal family. Officially, it was about global leadership and cultural diplomacy. Unofficially, it was the reunion of two hearts long kept apart. Witnesses say they spoke briefly during the gala dinner, smiling, laughing, but careful under watchful eyes. Yet one moment stood out. When the orchestra played a slow waltz, Christian approached Leonor, bowed slightly, and asked for a dance. Cameras captured the gesture. The image spread instantly. It was innocent enough for the public, but to those who knew, it was everything. Behind palace doors, panic followed. Spain's press office went into immediate control mode. Denmark's advisors called for discretion. But the damage, or perhaps the destiny, was done. The world had seen what love tried so hard to hide. And soon after, royal watchers began to notice subtle shifts. Leonor wearing a delicate bracelet, reportedly a gift from Christian. Christian appearing at events with a matching silver detail on his cuff. Coincidence? Or coded connection? Still, both continued to fulfill their duties. Leonor's training grew more intense. She became a symbol of modern monarchy, strong, disciplined, compassionate. Christian, more composed than ever, began taking on public duties beside his father, Crown Prince Frederick. Both shining, both maturing, but always linked by an invisible thread. As months passed, palace insiders hinted that the relationship had reached a crossroads. Leonor's future as queen demanded focus. Christian's role as Denmark's future king required commitment. They were heirs to two nations, young, in love, but bound by forces greater than themselves. Some say they quietly agreed to step back. Others insist they remain deeply connected, waiting for the right moment. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear: their story has changed the royal landscape forever. For the first time, the next generation of European royalty has shown that love is not weakness, it's rebellion. Because what Leonor and Christian represent goes beyond romance. It's about freedom within duty. Humanity within power. Two young hearts daring to love in a world built to suppress emotion. Every glance, every whisper, every fleeting moment between them carries the weight of history and the hope of something timeless. Even now, sources claim that communication hasn't ended. That amidst their royal responsibilities, quiet messages still pass between Madrid and Copenhagen. Short, simple, powerful, words like, "still here," and "always." Will the world ever see them together openly? Perhaps. Some insiders whisper that a formal announcement might come once Leonor completes her royal training and begins her full duties as Princess of Asturias. Others say they are simply waiting, for approval, for peace, for the right moment. But whether hidden or revealed, their love has already made its mark. In an era when royals are expected to be perfect, Leonor and Christian dared to be human. Their story, part fairy tale, part forbidden romance, reminds us that even behind crowns of gold, hearts still beat, and love still finds a way. So maybe one day, when the time is right, the world will see what's been true all along. That amid the pomp and power, two young souls found each other, and refused to let tradition silence their truth. The truth about Leonor and Christian's hidden romance isn't just a royal secret.